There is a precise, quiet moment in a high earner's life when the entire illusion of the traditional American dream suddenly fractures. For Pauly, that moment didn't happen during a high-stakes meeting, nor did it happen when he opened an annual compensation statement showing a multi-$100,000 salary. It happened on a random Tuesday evening in a crowded suburban grocery store parking lot. Pauly was 38 years old, sitting inside his late-model European sedan with the engine running, staring at a crumpled paper receipt resting on his center console. He had just spent nearly $200 on 3 bags of routine groceries, items that cost half as much just a few years earlier. His phone buzzed in his hand with a mobile banking alert. His monthly salary direct deposit had cleared. It was a massive number on paper, the kind of figure that would make most working adults assume financial anxiety was a thing of the past. Yet, as Pauly looked down at the transaction history, he realized a sobering truth. Despite making more money in a single month than his parents made in a season, his bank balance barely seemed to drift upward over time. He was caught on the upper middle-class treadmill. Every raise he earned was swallowed by higher tax brackets, rising local property taxes, escalating health insurance premiums, and the invisible drag of lifestyle drift. His salary was impressive, but it was fundamentally fragile. If Pauly stopped trading 45 to 50 hours of his direct human attention every week, that stream of capital would instantly dry up. He wasn't building wealth. He was merely funding an exceptionally expensive lifestyle. The realization hit Pauly with absolute clarity. His salary was never going to make him truly rich. In the modern American financial architecture, a W-2 salary is designed for stability and consumption, not for compounding exponential wealth. A salary is taxed at the highest possible rates before the money even touches your hands. It trades time, an unreplenishable asset, for a fixed cash figure. Pauly began observing the genuinely wealthy people around him. Not the corporate executives working 80 hours a week to pay off massive mortgages, but the low-key business owners, private real estate operators, and early equity holders who lived with complete control over their time. None of them relied on a paycheck to fund their lives. Their assets produced income that acquired more assets, operating within a completely different set of rules. That night, Pauly made a definitive decision. He didn't quit his job or make a reckless, dramatic leap. Instead, he systematically shifted his financial mindset from a salary-focused earner to an asset-focused architect. He audited his entire personal balance sheet, cutting subtle financial leaks that provided no real long-term value. Every single dollar of his high salary that wasn't strictly necessary for lean living was immediately redeployed into productive, cash-flowing assets. He bought cash-flowing rental real estate in growing regional markets, picked up fractional shares of boring, high-margin local service businesses, and consistently funneled capital into broad market index funds and high-yielding corporate debt instruments. During the first year, the shift felt painfully slow. The returns on his assets were small, almost negligible compared to his corporate paycheck. But Pauly understood the dynamic of compounding capital. The early stages are quiet, almost invisible, but the trajectory is mathematical certainty. By year 3, something fundamental transformed. The monthly cash flow generated by Pauly's asset portfolio began to equal his core living expenses. His salary was no longer required to keep his home lit, his family fed, or his bills paid. The salary had transformed from a lifeline into pure, raw acceleration fuel. Fast forward to today. Pauly sits at the exact same kitchen table on a Tuesday morning, but the atmosphere is entirely different. He checks his portfolio accounts on his laptop while drinking a quiet cup of coffee. In a single overnight period, his asset base grew by an amount that equaled 2 full weeks of his old corporate salary, without him writing a single email or attending a single corporate strategy call. His salary had quietly stopped being the engine of his wealth. It had become an optional byproduct of his capital system. When you cross that invisible line, the world looks completely different. You stop asking how to negotiate a 5% raise at your annual review and start asking how to acquire equity in cash-flowing systems. You stop measuring your progress by your job title and start measuring it by the percentage of your time you completely control. Polly realized that true wealth in modern America isn't about bragging rights or high W-2 earnings. It's about building a quiet, resilient engine that works for you long after you've closed your laptop for the day.